I know, Neil, you went to a Buddhist fighting monk. You're an international
Yes,
rugby player and a martial arts fighter, and uh, Shifu Shi Yanzi. I'm probably making a
that's
hash of
it.
that.
Yes,
That is,
yes.
and was that before or after? Because I think you said I went there to learn how to fight, but he taught me how to breathe and meditate. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, having spent maybe the first 20 years of my life, striving to be a professional basketball player, at the end, at some point in that process, I had started to wrestle with the bigger questions in life about who we are and what this experience is and what the meaning of it is. So I left behind basketball and went off in search of those answers. And one of the first places I went to was London, to this Shaolin temple. So this is early 2000s, and the temple in China. They would argue that the Shaolin Temple of China is the birthplace of all martial arts. So it all spreads from there. And in the early 2000s, the abbot of the temple in China sent his top fighting monks. So these are Buddhist monks, but they also compete in these world combat championships. So he sent Shifu Yanzi all the way to Tufnell Park in London to open up the first temple outside of China. So I was working in Dublin and I was exploring martial arts, and this is before mixed martial arts. So I opened this magazine, and there was Shifu Yanzi, and he was opening up a place in London. So I said, right, I'm going. I'm moving to London to go train with this fella. So I moved there, and I had expected to learn how to fight. I was a young man. I had left behind basketball, but I still had that kind of burning competitive edge in me. But of course, they first taught me how to breathe. Then they taught me how to meditate, and then the physical part of fighting came afterwards. But for me, that was a revelation. That was a revelation that we could use our breathing to change how we feel in any moment, especially the difficult moments. And then it's a chance once we get a handle on our breath, that leads us then to the mind. And then the real wrestling match begins, wrestling with the mind. See, can we turn this amazing thing from perhaps one of our greatest enemies to one of our greatest allies? And that's really where the power of my time with the monks came about.
Yeah, it's super. Make your mind your best friend.